Focus. So conquistadors at first are friendly to these Aztecs. Spain doesn't necessarily want to kill everybody. They just want what they have. And so they start by really friendly. Now, there's a couple of ideas on why. Some people claim that the Spanish were treated like gods, just like in Road del Dorado. That the Aztecs believed that their god had returned. Now, it's true that the Aztecs have a belief that a great white spirit will return. Sound familiar? Will return to them and will like rule them and bring peace and stuff like that. And so a lot of people believe that they thought that that the conquistadors were the great white gods, the great white spirits. Which some people disagree, because do you guys know who wrote that story? Who wrote the story about them being treated like gods? The Spanish wrote it. So, of course, they're going to write stuff like that. They're like, the Aztecs were so dumb, they thought we were gods, and, we conquered them after that. It's not really how it happened, necessarily. They treated them really well, just like you would any other random people that you met, hopefully. But eventually what happened was the communication kind of stunk. They couldn't convert the Aztecs. The Aztecs really liked their religion. And the Aztecs also wouldn't just give up all their gold. Big surprise. And so the Spanish start to get a little mad. And so one day, the Aztecs are starting to riot. They don't really like the Spanish being there anymore. It's been like a few weeks. And so the Spanish bring Montezuma, the king of the Aztecs, to the top of the tallest building and tells him to give a speech to the people to calm them down. Now this is where we don't know. Aztecs claim that the Spanish did this, and the Spanish claim that the Aztecs did this. But what happened is Montezuma, after giving a speech, the Aztecs were angry and started rioting even more. They're like, no, I hate you and I hate the Spanish. And so Montezuma was pushed off of the building. Now the Aztecs claim that the Spanish pushed him off the building. However, the Spanish claim that the Aztecs threw rocks and knocked him off the building. You can follow whatever you want.
I said the Spanish.
Wait, threw the president off?
Threw the leader off, yeah, the president.
King.
And the Aztecs threw rocks at him?
They believe, yeah, because the Aztecs were mad that he was helping the Spanish, that they threw rocks, or that the Spanish were mad that it didn't work and just pushed the king off.
Which makes more sense. They were the Spanish.
Yeah, I know. They were the conquerors. But then what happened was after they pushed him off, the Aztecs lost their minds and just started attacking the Spanish. And the Spanish, they had a couple hundred people, and they had swords, and they had guns, and they had horses. All those are a big deal. However, when you're fighting 10,000 other people who are, bloodthirsty and battle-ready, it doesn't matter how many guns you have. They will win. And so the Spanish described the battle that happened as, it was like so many, atlatl darts. You guys know what atlatl is? Yeah. So they're chucking these big darts. Yeah. And they described there being so many, it looked like a cloud was coming at them. And they're like, whoa! Oh my gosh! And so the Spanish fight, but they're fighting their way to the edge of the city. Now the city, Tenochtitlan, is in the middle of a lake. It is built on an island in the middle of a lake. And so in order to get off of it, you have to get to the bridges. And so the Spanish are fighting their way to the bridges, and by the time they get to the bridge, after just killing so many of these Aztecs trying to escape, the Aztecs had burned down every single bridge off of the island just to keep the Spanish on. And so the Spanish are forced to dig trenches and build fortifications and then start building a bridge across the river. So for days, the Aztecs are just attacking these Spanish as they retreat across the lake. Spanish lose that battle. The Spanish are kicked out of the city. So no matter what people tell you about this in the future in classes, the Spanish did not conquer the Aztecs because of guns and horses and swords. The Spanish were beaten at first. But what happened is after that, the Spanish went out and they found everybody who hated the Aztecs. And there were a lot of people. The Aztecs were big on human sacrifice. And they found all of the enemies of the Aztecs, and they came back, and at that point, the Aztecs had gotten a disease. Do you guys know what the disease is? Smallpox.
Smallpox.
It's a very classic disease in this time. And it killed, over half of the Aztec population, just an outrageous amount.
Yep.
How long were the Spanish on for?
Not very long, a couple months. In a couple months, just most of the Aztec Empire had just died of disease. And so once the Spanish
That's why
returned
you
with a
get
new
vaccinated, kids.
army- what? I mean, I
So
guess.
you don't get smallpox.
I'm pretty sure smallpox died long before vaccinations.
No, people getting smallpox again. This is an epidemic.
Yeah. That's my favorite thing when people are like, there's a case of 8 people that got this disease. I'm like,
I mean,
you don't realize we have 330 million people.
It could be. It could. If it keeps spreading, if it mutates,
Maybe.
we're all dead.
Now,